Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the European Racing Series Grand Prix here in France. I'm Ben Rwaggy McConnell. Joining me on the caster's desk, as normal, is the awesome Mr. David Fawcetti Time Tate. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Excited to see the car park Grand Prix, the runoff Grand Prix, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, in terms of like track setting, it's not the greatest. It's not as good as like say Belgium, for example, which is a fantastic place. Monaco, these legendary locations. This is just feels like a very huge open space. It's had a couple of lines painted onto it, and then go from there. And I can see that Rainbow has renamed himself to Rainbow Road. And do you know the context behind that?
I don't.
Let me enlighten you. Back, I think it might have been 3 seasons ago, maybe a little bit more than that. Rainbow, who at the time was not as good a driver as he is today. In fact, he was actually quite the opposite. He had an issue going through turn 10, I believe it is. But the end of the long straight, got that long right-hander.
Yeah.
I think it was slightly wet, or I'm hoping for his sake it was slightly wet. Because, he had a big off there and smashed himself onto the wall. And from there on out, we call it Rainbow Road. He was not particularly pleased about it, but we like to remind him of it every time he's here.
All right. Yeah, it makes sense because that in the wet is a real corner that is just doable flat out, and it takes a bit of balls and a bit of skill and the right setup. So yeah, I can understand and kind of sympathise with how he would have gone off there.
Well, I can see there are already some predictions in the chat, but I also want to get yours in just a second, Dave. But I do need to give you some vital information before anybody makes any predictions. Beaker is severely drunk, so he will not be performing very well at all today. He said himself, he goes, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And Yonti is not very well. So don't expect anything from the Haas boys.
Double points for Haas.
If Beaker does well today, honestly, we're just gonna have to fuel him with alcohol every single time he drives. Really, but we're not promoting drinking and driving. But if you are gonna do it in the simulator. Okay.
If you're gonna do it well.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, go all out, but in the simulator. Melissa has given us a Yonti P1, Landers Milton P2, and Fragioko P3. I think maybe a little bit ambitious there.
Slightly borderline ridiculous.
Go on,
I think, Vexit has been in top form these last 3 or 4 races, and he might change tonight, but I don't think it will. I think it's Vexit P1. It's going to be run tight by Bottas gang. And you know what? The Dutch courage, as they call it, I'm going to put Beaker P3.
Dutch courage. Okay. We'll go with that. Yonsei obviously is he is completely sober. He's just not very well. He's, I guess, doped up on antibiotics, and he's just invalidated.
He's finished. Go on.
Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah. I mean, that's just normal, though, isn't it? That's the point where you guys can.
Perhaps, right?
Yeah. Well, this is it. Well, Yonti's already invalidated his lap, so he's definitely not going to be putting any good times on the board. However, I just want to actually quickly touch on strategy. I've actually watched a league race here on Sunday, and it was actually really quite interesting that people that didn't start on the softs did phenomenally well. So maybe the medium start is the right strategy to go on here. Brownie and Hazard, along with Chan, have all got the mediums hovered. Going out now would not be ideal. But,
they are just watching their rivals in the pit garage at the moment. I've got both their streams up, Chan and Brownie.
They are teammates as well. They're going to be playing the... are they in cahoots?
I don't believe so. But they are doing the same thing right now, so...
Now, Embassy just did a lap time, but I did notice the DRS wasn't used on the home straight. So I don't think we're going to be seeing any proper times out of him just yet. Obviously, Beaker's set a time and he's currently the fastest. It's a 1:28.238. I'm going to go on a whim and say that's probably not going to be the fastest time we're going to see at this stage. Yes, there's 13 minutes remaining as Yonti invalidates once more. Who else can... I don't even know who to go for my top 3. I mean, Vexit obviously P1, but P2, Luca could get it, but his network is the thing that holds him back. Rimbo can get it, but he hasn't had very good history here. Bottas Gang, actually, first time I've seen him back in a long while. Has he been on holiday or something?
I'm not sure. Yeah, not sure at all. But glad to have him back nonetheless.
Yeah.
Whether he'll be a little bit, hungover, lack of practice kind of thing, remains to be seen. But yeah, he's a candidate. I'm not sure he's going to be in the top 3 though. Could snatch 3rd place, maybe.
Yeah, potentially.
My guy Beaker doesn't do it, But he's P1 right now, so.
Hazard has actually put a time on in P3 on the medium tyres. I mean, it is a 1.5 seconds away from Beaker.
It's too early.
Yeah, way too early.
If you're going to go mediums, you've got to save it to the last run. And the track's in, it's optimum or the best it's going to get state.
Is Luca... Oh, Luca's invalidated again, so he's not going to be improving as of yet. We also have a...
Wow, hits Bottas Gang. Slightly interesting.
Well, let's go on board with Bottas Gang for a hot lap run down there. DRS swing wide open all the way down the home straight as you come charging up towards turn 1. You want to brake right when you see halfway through this tarmac on the right now. Then you go right into the gears and straight through the turn 1 and ride the curb on turn 2, but don't run wide because you can easily invalidate. Kind of stick to the inside curb here on the left and then brake when you get to about the 50-meter board, right down the gears and get right onto the curbs of both of them. They're pretty flat, so you don't have to worry about instability. Turn the right-hander here. This is actually really awkward. It's a very late apex. There it is, go. And then you get the foot down, and you want to cut this inside just right as you come onto probably the most active area of this circuit when it comes to overtakes. It's a huge DRS toe zone, and obviously a hard braking zone as well. When you get to about the 75 board, there you go, right through the gears, clip the inside curb, and again on the right-hander here, don't lose the back end. It's so easy to do, especially when you've got a lot of fuel on board. You have to keep it smooth and steady. As you come up towards Rainbow Road, this right-hander here, you want to be over to the left and then bring yourself in to clip the apex just nicely and run wide once more. And then you come into a long sweepy right-hander off the throttle the entire way through, slowly downshifting as you come. And then on the apex, you get the throttle down. Run wide, but don't run too wide. Then come again to a very late apex as you clip the inside curve once more. And then you ran a bit too wide. That is an invalidation. And then you, again, brake right when you see the end of the curve on the right side. Carry momentum around this left-hander and into the really tight right-hander to come back onto the home straight to do it all over once more. But let's see what time he actually gets on the board. It's going to be a 27.8. So it would have been pole, but not enough as invalidation.
Yeah, not a very impressive Sector 1, has to be said. Look to have redeemed it with a really, really great Sector 3, but yeah, just an inch too wide. And he gets invalidated. That's a shame. Dennis about to go for one as well, though.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I want to touch on Dennis, actually, because this guy has been really quite in a strange place. He has pace, and he has so much potential, and I roast him about this a lot, both to his face and in commentaries, but he just doesn't put enough time into practice for these races. Yeah. And it's come down to a number of factors, obviously the game's current state, but also his motivation to do practice in general anyway. And I think it's also down to the way that he practices. So Dennis, I think, could actually be a top 5 driver, especially in this tier. It's just down to the fact that he just doesn't quite get the time that he needs to, even if it's just little tweaks to his setup to get himself good and going. But, I still think in qualifying today, he can look to sort of get like a P8, I reckon, maybe a P7. This is a circuit I think plays to his strengths. I guess we'll just see what he can do at the end of this lap.
Yeah, it really do. Oh, as we see him.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that's nice one, Ben.
Maybe.
That's all you.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it is a track that sort of lends itself to the aggressive driver because there's a lot of grip available to you. I was gonna say very difficult to spin out here, but Dennis has proved that it's not impossible if you've got the talent. But yeah, it's a nice track. It's a very high grip surface and a very unique challenge to the drivers because it's all about just throwing it in rather than being very careful.
Yeah, without that. This corner, I'm just watching Copy now as he's currently going to finish a hot lap, although it is invalidated, so it will not count, but it will give us an indication as to where he stands. However, he might actually be trying to do the alternate strategy. It's a 28-0, which again would be a provisional poll as it stands, but we have only had 5 times on the board, which again, this just screams everyone's going to try mediums.
Yes. I've still got Brownie and Chan on stream, just sitting in their garage, not doing anything. Looks to all the world that they're going to try one blast at the end with the mediums, and it's a risky strategy. You know, one thing goes wrong, you go slightly wide like Bottas Gang did, you're starting P18. So it's high risk, but maybe high reward if they can get it into that top 10.
Well, Beaker has improved his already existing time. He's gone up by 4/10, so he's up to 27.829. Good lap time from him. We do also have a Red Bull out on circuit as well, and has just started a hot lap. And this is Landon Milkman. This is somebody who we've time and time again praised at how much he's improved this season in comparison to last. Bear in mind, this was a tier 3 driver last season. He was good, don't get me wrong then, but this season, something's clicked. This game seems to work really well for Landon Milkman, and his pace has jumped really, really far.
Yeah, not sure. How old is he?
I think he's like 17, 18.
Okay. I mean, that would make sense. You know, it's a point where you start taking things a lot more seriously in life, and it could be the same happening to him with the game. Start treating it more than just a bit of fun and maybe something a little bit more than that. But whatever he's doing, whatever approach he's taking, it's definitely working. And yeah, a huge improvement. And maybe next season he'll kick on another level. So yeah, good luck to him. Very impressive.
Yeah. We had a couple more times on the board. It looks like Fred Joko's actually decided he wanted to do a lap time, but on the softs. It's quite a slow lap time on the softs, 28.415. Could be that he's trying to just give himself margin to work with when it comes to those medium tires. I think he's just trying to get a banker in, but doesn't want to use his mediums. Danico has retired. Okay. I don't know. Is that a qualifying ban?
It seems like it. It retired in the pits. Nothing obvious. I'll have a look on the Discord, see if there's any penalties outstanding from last week. But yeah, a word on Landon Milkman. What strikes me is like he's really consistent. You know.
Yeah.
For someone who's jumped up a level, he's not jumped it up by just going flat out and spinning every 5 seconds like another maybe tier 3 driver that got promoted this season. No disrespect, but
yeah, I don't know who you may be talking about.
He's not very quick, Landon Milkman, at the moment. He's not like blindingly quick like some of the other guys, but he will always get to the end of the race, minimal penalties.
Yeah,
and that's what really helps him out.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like, he hasn't quite got the copy syndrome, because copy's, oh, Fragioco, he's going to be in trouble. Stewards are going to have a bit of a talking to with him, that's for sure, because he just blocked Spicy on a hot lap on the medium compound tire, and that is, that's bigger than the normal level of blocking, because obviously normally they're driving on softs, and blocking on the softs is it's annoying. But Spicy could definitely go to another set of tires and then go again. Whereas in the mediums, you only get the one. So if you don't get it right first time, you are running yourself a risk by having to burn some tire wear to try and get the lap time in. So yep, Fragioco maybe in with a bit of a slap there on the wrists.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't be taken into account from the stewards because it was obviously his choice to go for one lap on the mediums.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
But the impact that he's going to be more frustrated now than he would be any other time because of the fact that, the medium compound tire, you only get one of them. You don't really want to have somebody screw that up for you.
Sure, I see that Danny Cole has a penalty.
Just odd that he's retired without actually trying to put a lap time on, but Vexit is out there on a hot lap right now. He's going to be trying to absolutely bomb it through. And I actually want to stay on board with him throughout this entire lap because this guy, we've sang his praises enough, I think, but this guy is crazy fast. I'm pretty sure he's got more time on the game than anyone else on the planet. But he is really showing it. He's actually demonstrating how good he is naturally. I've commentated a fair few of his races in the past, and I genuinely love watching this guy drive. And he's actually a really nice guy too, which makes it even better. So I could tolerate that. He's got the maturity, and I think as time goes on, I think he'll become a bigger and better driver than ever before.
Yeah, definitely. I think my prediction might be slightly off. I'm slightly concerned that Beaker might be on pole position here. I don't think anyone else is going to go for a run on the softs. Whether that time's going to be beaten by someone on the medium, quite possible. You know, we've got that kind of talent in this league. But he's looking really good. It's obviously going to compromise his race, but he's got a decent chance here to get a pole position for his belt.
Well, Vexer then coming through the final couple of corners. Is this going to be... I actually think this is going to be a huge time. I reckon he's going to be up there with like Jay and Fragioco, to be truthfully honest. I think he might even separate them both as we come down the home straight, up to the line then. What time is it? It's a P4. He was a 10th away from separating them. But still, that is a huge time.
That game was jumping around slightly there. I thought he'd got a 27-7 or something like that.
You've been conned. Brownie's out right now on an out lap, about to start his hot lap. Yonti, he's also out there too, right behind him then, just getting himself ready to go. Copy. This is the guy... It's ironic that he's in a McLaren because he very much has the Carlos Sainz award. This guy never gets screen time. He never has to do anything spectacular. He just drives his drive, keeps himself clean, and you see him flying up the positions due to his consistency. It's fantastic to watch.
Also, this going on a quick lap here, and it could be pole position. Nope, I'm getting debated. I'm going to stop calling it because that was a 27.6 on my screen.
Yeah, you got hard debated there. China Kinchi then, he's the first next car to go on the mediums to the line then. Where's he finished? P5, a 28.480. So he's right on the back there of Bottas Gang, but crucially, ahead of Vexit.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting challenge because they're going to have Fragioco, Jay, and Bika ahead of them, unless someone manages to pull out something special to get that extra 10th to jump P3. But Fragioco, Jay, and Bika all going out again. Embassy and Lando's Milkman Zorro going out again on the soft, so we might see them jumping up a little bit. Could be bad news for these guys on the mediums. They might be relegated quite far down the field.
I mean, it's not the end of the world for them, to be honest, because there's going to be a fair few people, as you can already see, that are on the mediums that are going to be in there.
Yonti spun, sector 3.
Yep. Big Spinella, not good.
Yep, and that's what I was talking about with the risk of going out for one run. He might have time. He's got 12 seconds left on the clock. Actually, no, he'll have more than that on his screen. Yeah. But he's all good. Have tyres that aren't in the best shape.
They don't look too hot. They're sort of mid-80s. I think he'd be okay.
Oh, sorry, I lack the X-ray vision.
But I mean, either way, regardless of his temperatures, that spin does cost a fair bit of wear. So he's going to be look at that home straight. How busy is that? You got so many people coming to the line. You've got Jay who's on an outlap. You've got Zorro who's about to start his outlap as well. You've got Red Bull ahead of him, which I think is Lando's Millman. Yes, it is. And then ahead of them, you've got the Racing Point. It is just going to be absolutely chaos as Dennis comes to the line, but it is invalidated. It's a 1:45.3, and I think it's just because he's starting his hot lap now. Although the checkered flag is shown for me. I highly doubt that is the case, though.
So
huge lag.
Yeah, now. Here we go. Checkered flag.
Okay. Well, Rainbow coming to the line then. He's on a final. He's got 4/10 faster. And he only goes P10, and he's at risk of being knocked outside of that.
He's also going to have Embassy ahead of him as well. Even if he doesn't improve, starting on the medium, he's not going to be able to get past Embassy and could well be held up later in the stint once the tyres do sort of get better than the softs. Hazard retiring in P14 as well.
Yep. And Luca has actually improved and knocked Rainbow out of the top 10. So Rainbow is now not going to be able to start the race on the medium compound tyre. Well, at least not the one he's used in qualifying. He's going to have to use the alternate strategy, which is probably going to see him go hards to mediums, I imagine. Yonti crosses the line. He also can't improve. It was like a 10-second increase, but it was invalidated, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, that's a big shame, but he's going to have a chance at something different, I suppose. That's the one saving grace, is he can maybe start right at the back with the hards. But Bika, P1, he improves to a 27.6, quicker than Embassy, quicker than Jay, who's backed out of his lap. So
That's
I
it.
think we're all done. I think we're all
Yeah.
good. But yeah, this medium guy's going to have a lot of work to do to get past that top 4 on the soft.
So, Beaker getting pole position
Dutch courage.
whilst intoxicated.
Dutch courage.
Yeah,
It's not the
I'll give you
best
that.
advert for drink driving. Is
No, definitely not. No.
it? Don't
No.
do it. If you are, you might be a few tenths quicker.
Yeah, no, definitely. And this is a serious. Definitely don't drink and drive.
Yes.
Like in real life. Simulator, it's okay. Just don't do it in iRacing. Because you can get banned for that, apparently.
True. Yep. I did that several times.
Okay, let's go find that footage and report it. But the qualifying is as follows. Beaker getting pole position with a 127.647. Embassy P2 right behind him with 1/10. Then a bit of a gap as Jay's P3, Fragioka P4, and then the medium runners start to come in as Bottas Gang P5, Chan P6, Spicy on the softs in P7, then back to the mediums for Vexit on 8th, Luke in 9th, Brownie rounding out the top 10, and the rest of the guys outside of it, but also on the mediums. Copy P11, Rainbow P12, Landers Milton P13, Zora 14th, Hazard 15th, Yonti 16th, Dennis didn't get a time in, and neither did Danico because he retired, but we're not quite sure why.
Yeah, it didn't mention anything in the Discord. I can't see anything obvious about him having a penalty or anything. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
I've been told the weather report is it's completely dry all weekend, so it's going to be important to start on the right tyre for those that are outside the top 10. Obviously, they are going to, more than likely, there may be the odd one or two that will choose an alternate strategy, but I think we're going to be looking at a hard compound start. And I think, honestly, that's the right call. You need to try and get yourself as far into the race as you can. But, again, the risk is, if you get damaged, you're back in the pits and you're completely ruined when it comes to strategy. So the early start for those on the hards is going to be most crucial. You also don't want to drop out that DRS zone for lap 3 because this is a huge tow track. Yeah. If you get outside the DRS train, you're in big doo-doo.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That is the key. Avoid penalties, stay in the DRS. Don't run out of fuel. If you make a mistake, it's okay. You're not going to die.
It's true. So, it's going to be weird to say this, but...
That's going out already.
Nah, he'll be back.
He can get back in time.
He'll be back. He just won't be able to do the start, that's all.
Go for your weird thing to say.
Beaker doing the formation lap. Leading us away on the formation lap, more the point.
I'm not sure if he's weaving or trying to drive straight.
But yeah, look at that. Everybody outside the top 10 have all gone for the hard compounds. They realise that the strategy is key here. I think there's only 5 people who didn't get that memo, and that's the ones that are on the softs.
Yeah, I mean, you run the risk, obviously, of, you clip your wing on turn 1. Your strategy is then screwed for the race. You are not going to be able to run anything that can get to the end from sort of lap 2 or 3. If you ding your wing, that was poetry. But, Spicy breaks his front wing. He can easily pit lap 2, probably go hard to the end. Might be a struggle, but it's probably doable. If you do that as a hard driver, you're in 2-stop city, and you're never going to win.
Just true. So, Beaker, Embassy, Jay are the top 3. Fragioka there as well on the softs, and then a couple of medium drivers, then Spicy. That's all the softs out of the way. It's now a question really as to what can they actually do to get them to the end of the race. Obviously, they're going to need to go 2-stop. That's the only real option. Maybe if you can push the soft far enough and go onto hards, possibly. But it's always been proven mediums and hards are the best combo to go onto for a 1-stop. Maybe try the softs, mediums. Those guys that have started on the softs should still have 2 fresh sets of mediums. So that is an option. It's just a double pit stop. You run the risk of traffic.
And again, wouldn't be surprised someone like Brownie, Vexit, maybe pulling a medium soft out the bag. If we do run green the whole race, although that's quite unlikely. Although, maybe with the amount of runoff, we might see a clean run through, no safety cars or anything. But yeah, we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Brownie or Vexit try something different with the strategy. They're the 2 people that can run long.
Yep. So we are coming back now onto the home straight, getting back into their grid boxes, and you lucky people get the opportunity to tell us what your prediction is going to be for P1, 2, and 3. I honestly have no idea. I think this is going to be more about who can be in and out the pits the quickest. yeah, if I was to have a stab in the dark, I'm still going to go with Vexit, despite all things considered. But the lights are on then here at the Paul Ricard circuit. Lights have gone out, but we are slightly delayed, as normal. And there we go. We are finally away. Beaker's actually got away just about on time, but I think Embassy is going to be the one who's going to be faster as we come towards turn 1. He should be able to get alongside him, if not ahead, in time for the braking zone. A little bit of brakes there from Embassy. Yes, he's through up to race lead. Jay still stays behind. There's a lot of wheel-to-wheel going on further back. That's Vexit and Chan, as Chan is just a nose ahead, but will be losing out when we come to the next left-hander in just a second. There is Vexit. Here he comes. Actually, I think Chan's managed to hold on to that. And here comes down the inside. Spicy almost gets his nose wing chopped off, as one Stroll did at the weekend. Landers Milkman and Zora there also fighting, going side by side. And I think, so far, yep, all clean.
No end plates missing. And I'm in absolute shock. No contact at all down the end of the field. Couple of scary moments, but we're all good. And, oh, that's Lando's Milkman. He's out. Sorry, Bottas gang, safety car.
Yep. Where is that? How did that even happen?
That is into the chicane. He just veers right under braking. I'm not sure if there was contact that caused that. I was just looking at the queue and I just saw Bottas gang shooting the wrong way. He's out of the race on lap 1.
I mean, I don't even know where you would have crashed there. Isn't the runoff like enormous?
It was just under braking. No, on the right hand side you've got a wall.
Okay. Well, that must have been all it took for Bottas gang then, because he's out of this race. And like you said, the safety car has been called. I'm expecting all of the soft runners to jump into the pits, and I think everyone else will stay out. Maybe the medium runners will jump in for some hards and then go for mediums again later, but I mean, surely that's the worst decision you can make.
And, yeah. And Beaker, Dutch Courage, along with Embassy, staying out.
I think this is the wrong call here.
And you know what? I agree with them. What is the point going for track position, going for that good qualifying, if you're going to pit lap 1?
Well, to start further up in the grid. I mean, look at the likes of Rainbow, for example, who tried to do the medium tyres and it didn't work. But he's always someone we've always said, yeah, he's like a top 3, top 4 driver. And
it doesn't
starting
make
P11.
sense to me at all. We've got Fragioko, Jay, and Spicy pitting onto the medium. Why didn't they just qualify on the medium? Surely they would have been higher than the back of the grid.
Well, this is the thing. I don't think they would. That's the problem. If they know this is a circuit where they're not particularly good at for natural pace, if you go for these soft tires when everyone else is going to try that alternate strategy, you can qualify so much higher, and you can go for, the right. You can still get the right strategy in if you get the safety car like you did here. I mean, it is a huge gamble. You never predict this is going to happen.
Yeah, but do you understand what I mean? Like, there's no point qualifying high because you just pitted lap 1. You've given up your advantage of track position. So I think it is the wrong call. It's going to allow Beaker and Embassy to stretch out that first stint. But I think it's definitely the wrong call to pit on lap 1. And, I think most of the field is inclined to agree with me.
Well, I'm hoping that we can hear from Bottas gang soon to find out exactly what caused his crash, whether it was a mistake from him or whether he got contact from another driver. Hopefully we can have that insight very soon. But the one thing we can see is, like you said, 2 drivers stayed out on the softs. That's Beaker and Embassy. All the others that were on the softs have all jumped into the pits and come out of the back of the grid now. So P14, 15, 16, 17. I agree that, maybe in hindsight, actually, probably not the right decision, because now you're right at the back of the grid and you got nothing again. So I'm going to just read what I've heard from Bottas gang. He didn't see the 5 lights at the start of the race. He crashed because the game apparently showed that he was Dennis, and he was on board with Dennis's Ferrari throughout that race.
Okay.
I don't even... How would they even look? Like, that's... I've never heard of that.
No, that's a good thing. We're finding new bugs, new experiences.
Can you imagine that? Like, can you imagine driving a car that isn't your car and things are happening that's not your inputs, and then suddenly find out you're retired?
I don't know. Yeah.
That's so strange. Well, this game is surprising us more and more as time goes on. But Embassy is your race leader during the safety car. all of the grid bar Yonti are together, so we're waiting for Yonti to close in. I imagine that when we come to the start of Sector 3 on this lap, we will be instructed that the safety car is in.
I think everyone's caught up, so no reason why not, but interesting choice by Yonti to go onto the mediums.
He's got to be trying the mediums hards and just going, well, yeah, not a lot I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't even qualify on the softs. He actually qualified on the mediums. It just wasn't that good a lap, so that is crazy.
I'll tell you what I do right now. If it stays under safety car for another lap, and if I'm Yonti, I pit again. There we go. Never mind. I would pit again, put the hards on, try and no stop it. Oh, there's a crash. There's a crash.
Yeah, who was that?
Francesco has got a 5-second penalty, but Jay and Luca, I think, damage.
Luca has escaped damage from what I could just see there, but Jay, yeah, he's severely injured.
I saw loads
he almost did it again. That was very nearly another collision there. Jay nearly ran into the back of Luca. I could. Oh,
Luca 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flag.
That's surely going to be removed. I think he got it for overtaking Jay during that collision.
Thankfully, he's on his second set of tyres, so he can no stop it. So that will be removed by the stewards, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long way to go on the hards. I'm trying to think of like any areas. There's a fair few areas on the circuit where aerodynamical grip is going to be required, which will take a lot of wear out of your car, but it is going to be a restart here for Embassy, who gets to control how we go. He knows it's a long run towards turn 1.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all of the cars getting debated there for a second, and now he's decided it's go time, so he is gone. Beaker's been caught sleeping a little bit. He's actually not losing too much time. Vex is going down the inside again on Chan Akinci. There's a bit of contact between the two of them, but they've kept themselves. No! Vex is gone. He's flying right down the order, and yeah, that is him into the wall. I think full left end plate missing. Full left wing
worked
missing.
out great for Embassy and Beaker, has to be said. I don't think you can really question that start. I think that was fair. Didn't really change pace at all or anything. Kept a steady pace. Did a decent start, and it's really worked wonders for those two.
Yeah, lots of scrapping down the back as well. Spicy and Danico. Luca! Oh, he nearly goes into the side of Spicy. Spicy was actually weaving quite a lot there. I don't even think that's allowed what he just did. But here comes Luca down on the inside. At least he looked like he was going to try and send it down the inside of Danico. There's no side-by-side action between him and Spicy, so we're going to stay as is for now. Yonti kind of hanging in on the back of Spicy. May even go for a move. He's got overtake fully engaged. I don't think Spicy's going to be able to react to this, but around the outside goes Yonti. What is this maneuver? He's going to have to do it again through here. Spicy's still there. Yonti might have to go for a switchback. Not quite pulled that one off. Yeah.
Both of them managing to avoid that.
That was quite crucial. That could have been another safety car if that had been a collision. But yeah, Danica, I don't think he's actually got any damage. I think he's just spanned. His tyres will be pretty hot, but other than that, he should be alright.
He's warmed up those hards pretty well.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
You know? OP strat, maybe.
I think we are at a point now where we are almost all fine. There is Hazard about to attack Lando's Milkman, not in towards turn 1. That was a bit of a mind punt there, trying to scare Lando's Milkman. Lando's had a little bit of a lockup, but wasn't really phased. We also have Fragioco going alongside here of Zorro. They are drag racing it out, and I think Fragioco's through. Yes, he is. Zorro will have to try the outside line. He may hold it through. Luca's coming for him as well. Yeah, Vexit and Dennis both into the pits. Yonti getting a time penalty there for corner cutting. Down there in P13. Fragioco doing well to stick it out ahead of Zorro, but Zorro's actually got a much better run through here. So has Luca. And Luca, again, finds himself in another weird scenario on the same stretch of road. But I don't think he's going to gain from either of these.
He's going to go around the outside of Zorro, though. Absolutely fantastic overtake. If he can make it stick. Zorro's still there. Cuts across the chicane. You don't get a warning for that there, though. What a
Spicy! Spicy just slipped round the outside there of Zorro.
As well. I was on board with Zorro there. Cars around both sides. Yonti's still around the outside. Spicy deep. No damage, though, for Yonti, I don't think.
No. It was
cosmetic anyway. But yeah,
emotional maybe.
Runners, those guys that pitted early for the mediums, really desperate to get past these slow guys on the hards.
I don't know why they're fighting so much, to be truthfully honest. Like, stay within the DRS train for now. Just hang in there and get some sort of rhythm to it. I mean, yes, the hard tyres are going to be a bit slower at the moment, but I mean, these mediums are really not looking that much better. Fragioco now is actually outside the 1 second margin, and this is the lap where DRS has become available. So it's like, well, what can they do now?
Vex, it's out. Dennis and Vex are coming together. Rainbow Road.
Safety car.
And a safety car again.
Yeah.
And
now Beaker
maybe
and
this
MC are in.
time, Embassy and Beaker will take the bait.
Yeah, they have to. They will come out around sort of P14 area. JLC is much further back. And he's just had a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Yeah, I just saw him stamp the brakes on the home straight. But Jay's race just went from horrible to, yeah, it's done.
Absolutely. Trying to think who's going to benefit now.
I mean, Beaker and Embassy, you would have thought would benefit, but they only really benefit. They can go hards to the end, so they benefit that way.
Could go hard to the end pretty comfortably now.
Yeah.
They could also probably go softs now. Two periods in the safety car. They could probably go to softs.
Okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see where this goes.
I think we've only done, what, 2 full-speed laps here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we only just had the DRS activated that lap, so, and then immediately back into another safety car. Yep. The strategy now is blown wide open. All of those that started on the mediums, like you say, can actually go into the pits and switch tires. Embassy, Beaker, Brownie have all done that. Hazard is in the pits as well. Has he got wing damage?
Stays out. Interesting. Chance stays out. Obviously would have been affected by double stacking there. But maybe Chan gonna stick it out. Maybe he'll come in at the end of the lap. If he does come in at the end of the lap though, he's been picked up by the safety car. He'll have to go all the way to the back of the queue.
See, Hazard just came into the pits to get off of hards and go on to mediums. Surely he's not going to try and take these 20 laps in. I mean, yeah, all right, fair enough. We'll call it 18. But yeah, he's starting hards.
So I think what he might be doing is maybe switching back to the hards. He's done his 1 lap mandatory on a different compound. He might well switch back to the hards and go no stops.
So what, are you saying he's going to finish this as an out lap, but then at the end of this lap come right back in again?
Yeah, I've done it myself. It is a track that works. I think I did it here actually. I think I did mediums.
I mean, if he could pull it off, great. I'd like to see that work, but surely the safety car is going to be in at the end of the next lap, and maybe he can catch up in time.
It's a pretty short pit lane, and that first sector is very, very slow under safety car, so I think it's doable. And worth knowing that you cut the final corner when you do go to the pits. So.
All right. Well, okay, we are away. Still waiting for Hazard to decide how he's going to play the rest of this race out. The top 6 7, 8, 9 are all yet to pit again. Obviously we have seen Luca pit, we have seen Fragioco pit, and same for Spicy, but I don't see them taking those tires to the end.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I've been proven wrong in the past, so it would be phenomenal if they could do it. I just highly doubt they can do it. Is Hazard in? No.
Chan is not in. Which I'm surprised, but I also think it's the right call. I think he can stretch that out now to a soft stint at the end and really do some damage.
Oh, Chan almost ran into the back of the safety car. I don't even know if you can hit the back of the safety car in this game. I know you could in previous ones.
You definitely can.
Okay.
Next, bring in Discord. Dennis Y, Pepe Hands. I think that kind of shows who he thinks was at fault there.
Yeah. And the admins have been at least the Ferrari admins, have been far from immune today. Fragioco obviously blocking, I think it was Spicy, wasn't it, in qualifying. And obviously Dennis and Vexer now, they've had a bit of a contact, and from the sounds of it was Dennis that instigated it. Obviously we don't know, we didn't see it necessarily, or I didn't at least, so I can't say for sure. But I mean, ultimately, we'll let the stewards have a little bit of a talking to with him, I think.
Tell you what, I gave Frajoko a little bit of stick for pitting lap 1. He's in 5th now.
Yeah.
On a tyre that is quicker. I think he could be on to a really decent result.
If we get one more safety car, Frajoko's going to be in a fantastic place.
Isn't there a limited 2 though?
I don't think it's limited to 2. I think it's limited to 4. I could be completely wrong. Oh, safety car's in this lap. Okay.
Wow.
So, Chan.
If you want a quick action replay, there is a video of the Dennis and what's his name? Vexit crashed in the Discord in Tier 1.
Okay. I will...
It's a big...
Oh, Luca having a 5-second penalty applied for a severe crash with Zorro. But I think that was actually Zorro that hit into the back of Luca. So Luca may have got that penalty, but I mean, there's not even any damage between, or at least not on Zorro's car or on Luca's car. So I imagine the both of those are going to get those 5-second penalties removed. However, we have to go back to Chanakinchi because he's going to be controlling this restart.
He is, and I wonder how differently he'll take it to Embassy. I feel like he will just gun it after the final corner. Rainbow's going to be aware, but he's also going to have much less grip on the exit there.
Yeah, Chan having a nice slow run up to it, and it's going to literally just be a gunshot as soon as he decides to go for it. He needs to try and catch out the rest behind. He's not deciding to go yet. He's going to go... Right now, there it is. But it looks like Rainbow didn't get caught out at all. Neither did Copy. Lando's Milton's actually looking to try and send one down the inside of Copy if he can. And coming in towards turn 1. He's going to go wheel to wheel. Having a little bit of luck down the inside. He's been nudged.
Oh, yep.
Vexit little style. Yeah,
that
not good
Zorro.
at all.
Yep. And damage for Zorro.
Ooh. Oh no, Beaker, he's been rotated. Oh, not sure he's meant to do that, but he may have just reset to the track.
Nah, we didn't see it. We didn't see it. That was the alcohol that did that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's true. Spicy having a bit of a back end kick out there as he's trying to get onto the back of Fragioko and attack him. There is a bit of a gap forming around the field. 1.4 between Chan and Rainbow, so that's P1, P2. There was a bit of a gap as well between Zorro and Copy, but Copy has lost a bit of time to Zorro, and the gap is closing in. We've got Embassy very close to the back of Spicy, who's ready to fire one on Fragioko, who's sort of ready to fire one on Zorro.
That was interesting. Just saw Danico weaving down the back straight. Obviously struggling to get the temp into that hard tyre, but doing everything he can, and not spinning, surprising.
Yeah. Look at that massive gaggle of cars from P4 right the way down to P10.
Zorro, yeah. So Zorro's got an end plate missing, and this is the part of the track where you need that aero, and he simply hasn't got it. I think we're going to see him. No, we're not. Went a bit deep there. I thought he might pit, but he stays out.
Oh, Fragioko. Here we go. Obviously, there is no DRS available. He has burnt all of his deployable ERS, but he's again going for it once more. Coming up in towards turn 1, he's going to have to do it in the braking zone. I think this is going to be Zorro conceding his position without any contest. Yeah, it is indeed. Spicy, though, is going to be looking to try and do the same thing because he doesn't want Fragioko to just run away. This is going to be a little bit of a risk here because you know he's going to send it down the inside, deep into it, and there's contact. That was always going to happen. Spicy with a risk move that just didn't give the reward. He's going to fall. Embassy has also gained on Zorro, and so has Luca.
Yeah, I think Zorro under no obligation to give him that space there. You do rely on the guy outside of you chickening out, basically, if you're going to make that move. Zorro said, no thank you, not today, and yeah, that happened. Brownie also gets past him now. Jay has served his drive-through penalty for speeding in the 50 car, if you remember.
There was a massive cut there from Dennis. What is going on between these guys? There's a big fight and a half here. Dennis getting a big penalty for corner cutting, but there was also damage, I believe, between him and Lando's Milton. Sorry, missing end plate on the right hand side for Dennis. His race is pretty done, I think. To be honest, he's had how many pit stops now? Is this his third if he goes in now?
Sure, I'll check actually. So yeah, it will be his third stop. And Bika retires from the session after spinning out.
Oh, I'm leaving. Yeah, I think he knows. Well, there's a live demonstration of two. Why you shouldn't drink and drive, guys and girls. Dennis is retired as well. He's in the pits and done and dusted. He's also left the session very quickly. Yellow flag sector 3. We have a couple of spins. Obviously, Beaker did crash. That was him out. And Jay had a spin at the back.
Yeah, bottoms up in the Hulaman household. I think that's how you say Beaker's final name. So.
Oh, apparently Beaker didn't actually.
Restart, guys. He wants a restart.
Who does?
Sure he's gonna get it. I think he's asking a little bit much.
Oh, he got done in by the safety car apparently. Yonti looking for a move here on Zora. Zora squeezing him, literally just forcing him to the edge here. They're literally playing bumper cars as they come into the braking zone, into the weird chicane, and there comes Zora right across again. Yonti gets forced off the circuit. Yonti's still going strong though, and Zora's just fine. They're gonna have to turn. Well, he's actually not. He's gonna carry on going. The pace is definitely there for him, but the wing is not. Down the inside goes Hazard. Beautiful little send there from him. Yonti's going to look to do the same thing, but in the next corner. And there is Yonti deep into the corner. Got the aerodynamical grip he needs in order to progress. And up he goes.
I like that. Aerodynamical grip. I don't think that's a word.
Yeah, it is, right?
I don't think aerodynamical is.
Right. You carry on commentating.
I like
Googling.
it, but I don't think it is.
You commentate, I'm Googling.
Yeah, get the Oxford English Dictionary out. So, at the end of lap 12, we've got Jana Kinchi setting a fastest lap of the race, which has just been broken by Hazard down in P9, who is getting closer and closer to the back of Danny Coe, and to a nice gaggle of cars, vulnerable cars, on the hard tyre. Into the first sector he goes, and Lando's Milkman, 3-second time penalty. Just rubbing salt in the wound, he's currently last on track. But as it stands and as it's going, might make some points, even by being last on track. But Hazard immediately blows his first sector PB out of the water. He's 4/10ths quicker this lap. He is on a charge. Chana Akinci as well in the lead, but picking up a 3-second time penalty. Do we have an answer?
Well, yeah, I think it does exist.
Okay.
Aerodynamical. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
I searched aerodynamical and it only gave me aerodynamics. But then when I scrolled down, it then said other words from aerodynamics, aerodynamical. So I'm gonna go with yes.
If it's not a word, vote me out instead.
yeah, the third imposter. All right, Luca is actually still with his teammate. That is a bit of a gap that it's over the 1 second margin, but it looks like it's about to creep back in again for Embassy. We're coming towards the halfway mark of this race. The first half of this race has consisted of so many safety cars. The drivers are going to be feeling a bit strange. Danico's in, so is Zora. So apparently, there's a belief that Embassy had the Let Beaker Pass bug.
Yeah, so Beaker is not very happy right now.
I find that hard to believe. Can I just point out, though, how well Chan's doing? He's 3.9 seconds up the road. He's got a huge gap to Rainbow P2, and Rainbow is under threat from Copy. Like, again, I don't want to make Copy look bad when I say this, because this is more of a compliment than anything, but he is the driver who never gets any screen time, mainly because he's somebody who doesn't actually find himself in any sort of real trouble. He's always the aggressor, but he's never actually aggressing as such. He's just in the middle of nowhere, kind of still scoring huge points for himself and his team. Right now, he's looking for a battle for P2, as Luca is looking to fight Browning. Well, I am still keeping an eye on what is cracking around the circuit. Realistically, it's kind of just a huge train, effectively, from P2 down to P7. Hazard is a bit too far out, but he is on an alternate strategy to a fair few of the people up ahead. Brownie is likely going to take these tyres to the end. Emerson is going to try to do the exact same thing as well, but he's had such a crazy race so far. I think when the penalties applied for everybody, I actually don't know who's going to finish where right now.
Yeah, not sure. All I know is Chan is still net P1 with his penalty. he's obviously going to have to stop again, so it's just as well he's putting this kind of pace in.
Yeah.
I think he will try and stick it out, brave it, go for the softs. And it seems to be working wonders for him right now as he's still pulling that gap out. I mean, those hards aren't looking pretty either. They've gone from pretty much lap 1. So if they do make it to the end, they're not going to be nice.
No, definitely not.
Here goes Fragilko on Copy. Has a look, tries the mind punt. Copy is far, 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 far too experienced for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also questioning why Fragilko's doing this, because he has the visibility of the 2 drivers ahead, so he knows just how big those gaps are starting to form. And Copy's only just there within the DRS of Rainbow. And one fight into a corner is going to cause Copy some time, but he might not be able to recover. If it drops outside the 1 second margin between him and Rainbow, then there's going to be an issue. Now, the other thing, I guess, the counter to that is that if Fragilko is actually faster than Copy anyway, then he does need to get past him as quick as he can and make sure that he can actually just stay with Rainbow as much as he can. However, you have to make sure the move is executed perfectly as in comes Chan into the pits.
Yeah, not sure about this one. He was still quicker than the car behind, so I think he could have stayed out for quite some time yet. But onto the hards he goes at well, just over the halfway point of the race. But he's given himself one hell of a job to do, if he wants points, that is.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem there. I'm actually thinking Brownie's going to get a podium here. Brownie's looking really good for a podium. Obviously, the top 3 are going to need, well, so the top 2 for definite needs a pit. Fragilko, whilst he has technically cleared his mandatory pit stop, he doesn't actually have to pit again if he doesn't want to. Embassy is going to cruise past him, though, into the braking zone. They go at the end of that straight, and yeah, Embassy up to P3 now, already on the back of Copy, potentially going to go for the next DRS zone.
They are considering a restart. Bika and Dennis talking about it in chat. I'll keep you posted on that.
It would be a shame to restart this race now. Whilst I do agree that there are a lot of bugs, it's either cancel the race completely and postpone it next week, but restarting now would be...
I think, yeah, we're too far.
We're way too far in.
I agree.
Luca, ready to go on Brownie, I think. I mean, ultimately the gap's going to be... Oh, Fragilko's in. Fragilko is in the pit.
So he is going to the hards now.
So, for those of you who've just joined us, you've missed an interesting start to this race. There has been safety car after safety car, and then as a result of that, there's been a fair few bugs that have caused a lot of the drivers to have issues, penalties, and damage, DNFs. Yeah, it's been a bit of a... I think we lost Potesgang due to a safety car and a game bug where... From the race start, he actually instigated the first safety car, didn't he? Because he was apparently being shown Dennis's car rather than his own car, so he couldn't actually control where he was going. And yeah, we actually need to look at the front runners as Embassy's gone past Copy. I think Embassy now is actually going to start coming into his element because his tyres are going to be so much better than Rainbow. He might actually go for race lead here.
But I think the gap isn't significant enough. It's still going to come down to who's the quicker driver, I think.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that Rainbow, Copy, Luca can make it to the end. I'm looking at Brownie's stream right now. He's averaging about 27-28% hard tyre wear on 9 laps.
Now,
I imagine they're on about 35-40. The guys like Rainbow and Copy. It'll be a stretch, but we could be in Puncture Town come the end of the race, but I think it's a risk that might well be worth taking.
Oh my word, Brownie must be running 1-1 wings because Luca was right in the gearbox of Brownie. Oh, Luca nearly gets caught out there. He was just so surprised by how fast Brownie was, and that penalty has been given to him for cutting turn 1 quite severely. Unsurprising there. That was a hell of a cut. But Chan getting the fastest lap in. Yeah, Brownie, honestly, Luca was right in his gearbox. Brownie just puts his foot down and just disappears. Like, it was such a drastic change. And Luca's really fighting that back end.
Yeah, Yeah, so I've actually seen a clip from Vexit, from the Dutch Grand Prix, the VRS, where he had the same bug as Bottas as the safety car was going on. Just flicked to the screen of Dennis. He had no control over Dennis's car, but he was on board with Dennis.
That's such a
Nothing he could do.
strange thing. I've
Yeah.
never seen that before. Okay. Well, Luca actually going for Copy now. This is going to be the awkward right-hander. I think he's got the move done. Yes, he has. Copy's just going to sit back a little bit. But again, look, 16 laps in on these hard tyres. Yes, Luca looks in a much better position than Copy does right now. But I also get the impression that Copy's not actually trying to really commit to anything. He's just trying to nurse these tyres. Because I think he's going to try and go softs at the end of this race. Calculating it, he should be in about 2 laps time, I think, for Copy. If he's going to go softs, he kind of has to. That's going to be interesting for them. Yeah, we'll have to monitor this going forward, I think. Yonti P7 on the back of Hazard. Gap. Oh, he needs to be careful he doesn't run too wide there. That will be a penalty territory if he continues to do so. Hazard is actually quite the way back from Copy, 2.1 seconds in fact, and Copy's actually losing a lot of time to Luca. He will have DRS coming through here, or will he? No, he won't. There's the detection line. That means he's not going to have it, and that is now Copy at a real risk. He's going to have to use ERS to close in as much as he can.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that Rainbow, Luca, and Copy will have to stop again. I don't think it's possible for them to do it.
Well, Rainbow and Copy have to because they started on these tires, so they haven't got a choice.
Started, I think they started outside. I think.
No,
I'm seeing 17 laps.
No, they've not pit yet. They've not pit.
Oh, okay. I thought they might have pitted on lap 1.
No, I mean you won't see 18 until you actually finish the 18th lap.
Sense. Yeah, makes sense. So Luca Luca can go to the end legally, but I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard part, really. He may try to, and I don't blame him for trying it, but it's surely going to be puncture territory later. I've actually seen a puncture on this circuit not that long ago, and it was quite drastic. Coming down the home straight, just pop, and off he went into the wall, and that was the end of the race. Well, end of the race for them anyway. Luca still very close though to the back of Brownie, despite the 1-1 wing setup for Brownie. It looks like. Keep an eye out then as to whether or not this will switcheroo later on.
Yeah, and with Brownie getting close to traffic as well,
Ooh.
Might be compromised, but Luca jumps back. A little bit of rubber banding going on. And yeah, obviously a problem that's plagued Luca through the season, showing its head again. I kind of wonder where he'd be in the championship had he not have had all these problems.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. There's a big, deep, too wide. Embassy goes really deep in towards that braking zone, but he has actually made that move stick. Brownie actually looked to potentially get involved in a 3-car wide move down there. Rainbow just kind of sat tight, and here comes Brownie. Look at this pace he's got. His car is so fast in the straights. I don't know how he's got it set up, but that is fantastic to watch. And now Brownie's ready to go on Embassy. If Embassy leaves it open and down the inside, I can tell you now, Brownie's going to go for it. Nope, it's going to stay as is for now, but Rainbow's still P3.
Yeah, he works a lot on setups, does Felix, does Brownie. Yeah, you can see it's paid off. It looks like a pretty nice car around the corners.
Luca, no! He went into the back of Rainbow, and that destabilized him.
Wow.
And sent
Copy
him off.
immediately taking P1 as he cuts the final corner to come into the pits.
Did you get debated there?
I did not. I just saw him flying across my screen when I was looking at Rainbow and Luca.
He actually stopped his car as well in time to not get a penalty, so really well done by him to avoid that. Soft tyres, like I said, so great stuff from Copy, but yeah, where do you go now? P9's where you're going to be coming out of the pits in. Oh, no, P10, sorry. Fred Jerko's going to get past him as well.
And another 3 seconds for Chad.
Yeah, and he's down in P7 as well. This strategy has not worked well for him, but
he's quick though. He is super quick, and with 7 laps to go, I think he's got a chance. I do genuinely think he's got a chance in this race.
And Rainbow also still needing to pay. He has to pay. He's not yet served his pit stop. He's not cleared his mandatory pit stop at all. So probably going to go soft as well, realistically. Medium's probably just not the right time.
He'll have to go this lap. He'll have to go this lap.
Yeah.
But I'll just rephrase what I'm saying about Chan. I think he can. There's a possibility he can do it on track. I think the penalties will cost him eventually.
Yeah.
But I think he's got a chance. Hazard as well doing a super job. He's got to take those tires a little bit further, which might be a bit of a struggle, but he's in a charge for P4 right now. And Yonti as well doing a great job. And nope, in he goes. Rainbow in as well.
Yeah, that's the right call for Rainbow. He has to come in. Hazard.
Yonti.
Bit of a mistake.
Hold your breath, cross your fingers. Yonti's on the podium right now.
I think he's got a penalty, but that's still... He's covered as it stands to Luca, and Luca will probably not make it to the end on these tires anyway. So Yonti's actually looking really good.
Yeah, you said, Haas, don't look at him today. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was a good call not to look at them because they seem to be doing pretty well. I mean, Beaker on pole. Yonti currently running P3. Of course, it's all going to unravel spectacularly now we start talking about them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was a nice 21 laps. It really was.
We need to actually look at the back of the field a little bit because Hazard, who's come out of the pits, is right ahead of Landos Miltman, who's feeling very lively on these 5-lap all mediums, but I think it's only going to be a very temporary basis because the brand spanking new softs for Hazard mean he will be so much grippier coming through these corners and on the exits of the... well, there. I mean, there's a prime example. Look at that. He's already just pulled a tenth or two, just pushing out there, and then even with the DRS being available to them, Landos is not really going to gain much here at all, but Zoro might. Zoro might actually go for a move here, potentially. No, maybe not.
No. I think Zoro's maybe had his excitement for the day, but Landos Miltman locks up a little bit. Zoro just loses it on that curb a little bit. Doesn't get the right kind of exit.
Okay.
Flying though. Luca's in the pits.
Luca in now. Definitely going to go softs to the end, but that's going to cost him a lot of positions.
I think that might be a lap too late as well. I think Rainbow, Copy, Hazard have had a real advantage on that first lap on the softs.
Oh, and he's serving a 5-second penalty as well. Yeah, that is... Yeah, you got to feel for Luca, because I don't even think that 5-second penalty he had to serve was actually just. If I remember correctly, it was him and Zoro who had contact.
Zoro hit him in the back, right?
Yeah, but there was no damage on either car. I don't even think they got destabilized. I think it was like the very smallest of knocks. Definitely not worth 5 seconds in my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree. But Brownie getting very close now to the back of Embassy. He's been chilling the last few laps. He's got a lot of fuel to play with. He's got a lot of battery to play with. Embassy not having that luxury, but has of course got the track position. But as you say, if Brownie's running this ultra low downforce setup, he's going to breeze past pretty much whenever he feels like pulling the trigger.
Well, Zoro actually going for a move here as well on Landos Miltman. He finally got it done this time into his breaker zone. You got Luca also doing the same to Spicy. That was a much easier move to make. Copy and Danico, they swapped places. I think that was a team orders strategy. But now Brownie, watch him on this home straight. Watch how fast he is here. Just right, and as soon as that, there we go. Right, now watch him close in.
Just a touch of overtake to get yourself up there. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Took him to the end of the straight to really notice that speed difference, but
yeah, if he'd have burnt overtake,
it's going to be a lot more sort of visible.
Yeah, watch this. When he flicks overtake on as well, all the way down, he's just going to bullet us past Embassy. Embassy's literally going to be a sitting duck unless Brownie gets this exit wrong. But he gets it right. Here we go then.
Well, not quite close enough for my liking. Now you can try it.
Oh, he will.
Right, no, he backs out of the overtake.
Oh, maybe not.
But he's closing in. Probably close enough to do something if he wants to. Just wants to try the mind punt. Who can blame him?
I think he's trying to scare Embassy into making mistakes, and that's it. I don't think he's actually trying to go for an overtake. I didn't recall seeing Brownie get a penalty, so I don't actually think he has one anyway. But he may be just trying to force one from Embassy just in case.
I don't think so. He's got this special overlay on his stream. It does say 0 seconds. Whether that's talking to penalties talking about penalties or not, I'm not sure. Would make a lot of sense. Because, yeah, like you said, I haven't seen him either picking up the penalty. Chan is closing in on Yonti very, very quickly, though.
Yeah,
And
spicing a penalty, not good.
he could be a little bit annoying towards the end of the race for these guys in the top two. I don't think he's in danger of winning this race, simply because of the 6 seconds he's picked up.
I actually think Brownie's going to win this race. I think this is all his to lose, truth be told.
I think, yeah, Brownie is a cat with a ball of string right now, and Embassy is the ball of string.
Yeah, and I don't think Embassy realizes just how screwed he actually is. I mean, he's 37% on the ERS, which he might be thinking, I'm actually doing all right here. Yeah, I'd be pretty good. And then you look at Brownie, and then you go, ah.
Yeah, I mean, what you'd be doing in the mirrors is thinking, Jesus Christ, I hope he's pushing as hard as I am. I hope he's in the same, I hope he's sweating as much as I am. And then, no, he's got 90% battery rate.
Here he goes.
Here we go. Gets close enough. Actually, yeah, turns off the overtake before even pulling out. That's how confident he was, I guess. Not wasting any unnecessary battery. Straight back onto the overtake, try and force that gap now.
And you actually got Rainbow going for a move as well on Danico. Hard into the breaker zone, we're going to see in just a second. There it is, straight in there. Although Danico's going around the outside. What a maneuver, what a defense from Danico. Rainbow's still going to be there alongside him anyway, and is going to have the better traction out the corner due to the soft compound tires, and he's using a lot more ERS, but fair play, Danico.
You've got to try it. As long as it's safe, you've got to try it. But if Embassy can stick with Brownie here, he might give himself a fighting chance coming into the last lap. He's already saved up a little bit of battery. He's now got the DRS. But yeah, Brownie is flying. Now you can kind of see the difference in speed. Even with the DRS, doesn't really seem to be making any sort of progress towards that rear wing of Brownie. But Chan now closing on the back of Yonti. Yonti's falling back a fair bit, has to be said.
Yeah.
And I don't think Chan will be in a position actually to challenge that top two on track. It'll be an easy third place on track. Whether he can clear out the 3 seconds he needs, that is, that is up to him. He's running out of battery though.
And here comes Chan right on past him. Easy peasy. Not really any sort of challenge. Although Yonti might actually go for a move again. No, he's opted out. The right call in my opinion.
That's not Yonti's style.
I mean, 20 laps in on the halves, he hasn't really got much of a choice, has he, let's be honest.
If I hit the brakes, does the car slow down? That's the question.
Or does a tyre explode and I end up spinning like a Beyblade all the way down the rest of the straight?
So I can tell you that the average wear on Brownie's tyres right now is 60%.
He's looking pretty good then. I mean, he's easily going to cruise to the end
all around, actually. So he's done a good job with his setup and his driving style to make sure that it's not the rears wearing down to sort of 20%, and that the front's still got a lot of rubber left. So it's all around that. Whether Yonti's got the same setup, I doubt it. And I think those rears might be in a little bit of trouble.
Well, Rainbow then on the home straight. We are on the second to last lap, so it is going to be a nice calm end, I assume. I don't think Embassy's going to be able to close that gap back down again to the 1 second margin. I think Rainbow is going to be the only person left to do an overtake, which is going to be on Copy soon. The soft tyres between the two of them, so it could be Copy just needs to deploy a little bit more ERS. He is a bit less than Rainbow in terms of total battery, but that doesn't mean anything. It all comes down to the exit speeds.
Yeah, Yonti is in a bit of trouble here. Chan has already pulled out 2 seconds in the first sector alone. And, unless he gives it the lap of his life for the last lap, he is not going to be on the podium tonight.
Look at Rainbow's pace. He's actually decided to back off. He's not even trying to go for a move here on Copy. He's clearly waiting for that last lap because he doesn't want to give Copy the opportunity to actually attack him on the next lap. Obviously, if he went for the move here, he's at risk next lap. It means he has to burn so much ERS just to keep that gap from closing back in again. And despite Copy making a mistake through Rainbow Road, Rainbow is going to have a look now.
Flicking himself to the left, to the right, just filling up those mirrors.
Yeah.
He's got to watch it that he doesn't make a mistake, spin the car out. But obviously Brownie's pretty rock solid generally. You know, it's not. He's not going to be an easy guy to mind punt out of the way. And Chan, 2.95 seconds he's pulled out on Yonti. He's almost home and dry. Yonti needs to give it absolutely everything on this final lap.
I don't see that gap drop. I mean, he's already over the 3 second now. Then I don't think that's going to drop again. So it's going to be realistically as they are, I believe.
Rainbow even turning off the DRS there, sorry, on that home straight. Just kept it shut. He didn't need it.
I actually think Copy's going to defend this. I actually think he's going to be able to defend this.
He's got enough battery. He's done really well for battery. He's not been bullied into deploying everything he has.
Yeah.
As long as he gets a good exit here, which he definitely does.
Yeah, that gap is decent, but not decent enough. ERS is going to be burned all the way down here. He needs to come out of the toe. He needs to stop giving him the toe. He actually tried it, but that's a bit of a flick there. Hard into the breakers, there they go. Rainbow's going to be very tight to it. Copy's actually sticking it around the outside. He's going to go again onto the inside. The exit has to be clean here from both of them, and Rainbow gets the better run, and Copy
Straight
will
back
fall.
on the overtake. Straight back on the overtake. This isn't over yet. This is not over yet. He's in the slipstream. He's going to have this right-hand kink, but it's flat. And just isn't able to quite get the straight line speed advantage.
Yeah.
And Rainbow, yeah, looks like a great sector 2. Coming in now to sector 3. Sorry, that was sector 3.
Well,
A great start to
actually,
sector.
I missed it, but Brownie and Embassy have both crossed the line on P1, P2. Chan's coming home in P3. Yonti, 22 laps in on these hards, will take the lap in P4. And Rainbow crossing in P5 with Copy P6. There we go. Danica P7. Fragioco will hopefully get a nice point score in P8. Oh, he goes up to P7. Nice. Very good job by him. And Hazard gets P10, P9, sorry. So double points for him. Really good.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Oh, Luca drops out of the points altogether by 60 thousandths.
Oh,
But
well, that's
I'm
the end
happy
of
for you.
that. How would you describe that Grand Prix?
Clown Fiesta? Is that the one we're looking for?
Yeah, I don't know if Benny Hill or the carnival music would have been better, honestly. I'm just hearing. We have a double Shumi. Is that double Shumi Williams? It is.
Double Shimmy Williams.
Wow. Oh yeah, because Chan was. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good going.
Yep.
Well, let's get the final rundown at the end of that Grand Prix then. Obviously, lots of penalties being applied, but Brownie getting the race win from P10. So really well done by him. Embassy staying where he was, P2. Chan getting P3. Yonti getting P4 from P16. So fair. And he's not feeling very well, so give him a break. Really well done by him. Rainbow kept himself clean. He gets P5. Copy doing the same. He gets P6. Fragioka P7. Danico P8, Hazard P9, Zora P10, the final point scoring position, with Luca getting not only best of the rest, but also the fastest lap with a 1:30.353. Lando's Miltman gets P12, Spicy, P13. Jay is the first of the DNFers, along with Dennis, Beaker, Vexit, and Bottas Gang. So it leaves me with a final question for you, sir, which is, who's your driver of the day?
Well, that's a tough one. That's why I was quite quiet towards the end. I was actually pretty deep in thought there. I think it's Brownie.
Okay.
I do think it's Brownie. 10th to first. I know Yonti was a very close second for me, but Brownie did a great job. Everyone else losing their head, changing their strategy, umming and ahhing. Brownie had a decisive plan. He stuck to it, and he got the win as a result.
Yep. I'm with you. I think that's a fair game. And that is it for the European Racing Series Grand Prix here in France. It's been a roller coaster, let's say. An interesting experience. But thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box. It is always a pleasure to commentate alongside you, Mr. David Falsetti Time Tate. And we'll see you guys next week for Austria.
Round 9 is, yeah, you're right, Austria.
Nailed it.